How many times have you seen a story about parents having to lie about degenerate furries? Ay, ay, ay. This story is hilarious. It's quite an intersection of things that we normally talk about, the degeneracy of the public school system, and then just outright degenerates. But this is the first time, and hopefully the only time, that we'll be talking specifically about furries. Now, what are furries, you might be asking yourself? Well, consider yourself lucky because you're in the exclusive group of like 99% of people. But if you've spent any amount of time on the internet, you'll know that furries are, they are some of the most questionable people on the internet. They dress up like that for sexual pleasure. Long and short of it, that's basically what it is. It's just a sexual kink that's put on Front Street, and it's as hilarious as it sounds, okay? Now, this fetishization of animal costumes is rightly pilloried because it's gross and disgusting. Yet at the same time, you'll take a look at somebody who goes through thousands of dollars of medical procedures and sticks a bunch of experimental chemicals in themselves and then call that stunning and brave and just turn the other cheek. Okay. But Colorado parents say school district lied about furries. What are they teaching the kids now? God damn it. They allege the cover-up discredited them and a GOP gubernatorial candidate. What were they alleging? Jesus Christ. All of this shit is so fucking hilarious. Colorado parents are accusing the state's second largest school district of a furry cover-up that mocked parents and erroneously discredited a GOP gubernatorial candidate. Does this have to do with the litter boxes that were put in public schools because some of the kids were identifying as furries? That's a real story, my friends. I think that might be referencing this, unless, of course, oh God, I hope not. There's another furry story that's out there, but let's continue. During her campaign, Heidi Gannahall, a Republican running for governor, has voiced concern about the furry trend among students. Yes, exactly. This shit is super haram. The controversy started on September 24th when Gannahall told a local radio host about the existence of so-called furries. They're in our goddamn schools. She later named Jefferson County a furry hotspot. I thought that said something totally else. They're degenerate enough. They don't need an additional pejorative. Furries or animal avengers. I have never heard that one, but then again, I'm not so hot on the fucking fur forums that are out there. Are students who hiss and bark and claw at the air while dressed as animals dressed in animal tails, ears, fur gloves, or other costume attire. Yeah, this isn't a Halloween thing. This is a evenings and weekend things as well. Furries sometimes wear collars and leashes attached, allowing themselves to be walked by peers. Don't worry, they have proper representation in the White House right now. He's in charge of the nuclear codes, or she, or whatever they identify as. They like to do puppy play. I think I talked about that before, but that is, if this is super haram, that right there is ultra mega haram. Anyways, some mainstream media have reported the trend as a myth. No, it's very real. Like, you didn't need to make this one up, okay? This happens. Created by conservatives falsely raising concerns about schools. However, teachers, school administrators, and parents around the country have told Epoch Times that the furry movement indeed is growing and a disturbing trend. I have a tough time, logicking or rationalizing which one's actually worse. Furries, people that choose to look like this, and then also just the blitzkrieging of the alphabet mafia movement in public schools. Maybe for meme value, the furries are worse, but I think probably the alphabet mafia folks are the same. But they'll eventually, take in the furries as one of their own. But whatever, okay. Gannahall told 710 KNUS radio host Jimmy Sengenberger that not many people know that we have furries in Colorado schools, kids identifying as cats. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's happening all over Colorado, and schools are tolerating it. It's insane. Yeah, no, known about kids identifying as just random animals. And if anybody was wondering what the ring girl would look like when she was all grown up, I was like, there she is right there. I just heard from over 100 parents identifying 30 different schools that this is happening in Jefferson County. There's a lot of this going on. The Jeffco Public School District fired back on September 28th and 29th with the statements released to local news saying there are no litter boxes in our building. Wait a minute, where does all that stuff come from? This was referencing that one story. Anyways, in our buildings, and our students are not allowed to come to school in costume. Just make sure that you wear your mask though. Anyways, there are no furries or students identifying as such during the school day. How do you know? You're assuming people's genders, you bigot. Ganahal's comments and the school district's denial about furries were picked up by Democrats. Yeah, exactly. Take a look at those GQP supporters, those ultra maggots that are out there trumpeting all of this nonsense. See how deranged they are? But then you just do a little bit of digging and it's like, actually, it's even worse than what we were reporting. And then they're like, well, we're already moved on to the other controversy. Just shut up. You guys are still all evil ultra maggots. Shut up, bigot. Their comments and resulting reaction caused a firestorm among liberal media outlets, mass media outlets, on the state and national level that smeared the claim as a right-wing conspiracy theory. Neither parents nor Granhall made claims of litter boxes being used by furries at schools. Okay, that's why it seemed to come out of complete left field, okay? Hey, there's furries in our schools. We don't put litter boxes anywhere. What the fuck are we talking about here? You guys are kind of missing the point. See, that makes a little bit more sense, okay? That's Lindsay Dacko. Okay, that's not Granhall. Granhall. Head of the parents group, Jeffco Kids First, and the school lied about furries being in schools. Oh my god. If that's one of her kids, I hope that she's not being accosted by furries, because that would be fucking degenerate as shit. School officials added the issue of litter boxes to the conversation. Okay. Lindsay Datko, who heads the 6,000 member Jeffco Kids First watchdog group, said parents have been complaining about furries in Jefferson County schools for months. Oh my god, the internet's had the solution for this for a very long time. You should just go to 4chan. The school district lied publicly to cover up the problem, she said. They commented as the school district on a political article. They meddled in politics at our school district, she said. Datko proved that what she knew was true by filing open records request for emails on the matter. Sorry, what? Are teachers sharing fur erotica back and forth? What the fuck is going on? Which are now posted on jeffcokidsfirst.com site. We'll just read the summary because that shit sounds completely whack. Multiple emails concerning disruptive furry behavior dating back to March show the school superintendent Tracy Dorland, school board president Stephanie Schooley, I see a correlation here. And other school officials and board members knew about the problem. The district also received emails from parents complaining about the officials' denial to medias that furries were a concern. A child in my life felt so awkward in the neighborhoods, or in their neighborhood school that allows full furry attire, especially when the furry would growl and bark at them in the hallway on a daily basis, that they decided to leave the school, according to August 19th email from a former teacher and administrator. In the August 18th email concerning Drake Middle School, the writer noted students cheered at the announcement that the school would no longer allow ears or tails to be worn by students. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous considering the fact that one of the kids is just wearing a tail, no pants. Another parent noted in an October 1st email that the school district made clearly a false statement and suggested the statement could be corrected with the media. Epoch Times contacted the district's communications department requesting comment about the denial of the furry issue. We need an answer to the furry question. Some would ask a final solution to the furry question. And documents showing officials knew of complaints for months. We respectfully decline to comment on any further on this issue, according to an emailed statement from the district's media relations team. If parents have individual concerns about the unproductive learning environment or bullying in their schools, we encourage them to contact their principal and community superintendent. Now, if you'd excuse me, I have to go out for my evening walk, parents Darlene Edwards said. Instead of denying problems at Jefferson County schools, the administration needs to address them. Yeah, because you shouldn't be just openly advocating for a sexual fetish, because that's exactly what this stuff is. This is ridiculous. And you shouldn't be making that accessible to kids. I can't believe that that's something that we have to say, but sometimes we have to repeat the obvious. It's definitely interesting that they're trying to shush it under the rug. It's normally sweep it under the rug, but I don't know, you're trying to keep it shush and sweeping. It's just analogies, I guess. They're women. What do you expect? I don't understand that motivation for that. It's a nationwide issue. I don't know. It seems like it's definitely a Colorado issue. It seems like it's a Jefferson County issue. Now are there these roving bands of substitute furries that continue to infiltrate different counties? I don't know. Is that an investigation that needs to happen? Tough to say at this point in time. Her 8th grade son, who has autism, just likes to play with the fuzzy tails and the pointy ears. Has complained about furries. He says it goes by the name Animal Avengers at Wayne Carl Middle School, she said. That's fucking weird. Is like, Mom, they're wearing collars and leashes and they're being walked around by other kids. What the fuck? Yo. What do we even do with that information other than saying, well, we're going to look into homeschool alternatives? When her son called one of the furries weird, okay, he was given the nickname Phase-tism for being based as fuck. He was the one who was reprimanded. No, those kids just going out on a stroll with spiked collars and leashes that they brought from home, they're the ones who were in the right here. The fuck? Her niece, a 6th grader at the same middle school, said furries. Oh, furries there get on all fours during recess and they can be walked on leashes by other students. What the fuck? Yo, when I was in 6th grade, I'm trying to think of what was the hotness back in the day in 6th grade. Was that No, it wouldn't have been Yu-Gi-Oh cards. How old was I in 6th grade? Guess you'd be 12 then? Long and short of it is, nobody was going around the soccer field or playing, tan or smear the queer on all fours. But I guess times they are a-changing. Edwards said that her niece witnessed students putting their faces into food to eat like cats or dogs at lunch instead of using utensils. Yeah, that would be a funny thing to do in the lunch hall once, okay? But if that's repeated behavior, that's a problem. Datko, a former teacher with 2 students in the district, said furries have been reported in most of the district's middle and high schools in the district of 69,000 students near Golden, Colorado. She added that the behavior disrupts the educational environment and intimidates other students. Yeah, we don't know if any of these, pets have been house trained or anything like that. If you just got to put down newspaper in case they get a little bit too rambunctious, or if anybody scores exceptionally high on a test, if they get rewarded with some catnip or a bacon strip, you have no idea. She recounted a recent story where a 17-year-old who went to turn into a chemistry assignment and was greeted at the door by furries who hissed at him. What the this sounds like a nightmare. This sounds like a Stephen King novel. He felt uncomfortable. Yeah, no shit. Because, there's cliques that run around in school, especially high school, right? Like, you could get bullied by the jocks, or, the AV team could make your life hell by not, signing out a projector for you. But roaming bands of furries intimidating students? This takes it to another level. So he left and had to turn in his paper late. No, I couldn't go because Furs Anonymous, or whatever, the Animal Avengers were somehow blocking my path. This is so fucking weird. Dadko said she's puzzled why school officials tolerate this type of disruptive dress, yet won't let students wear baseball caps in schools. Just identify as a baseball player. Simple as. Identify as a Colorado Rocky and you're a bigot if you don't allow me to bring in my bat. Make sure that it leaves at the end of the day with matted fur and blood, Listen, practicing my baseball swing is a part of my identity, you fucking bigot. Datko said Jefferson County public schools are closing campuses because they have lost 5,000 students to other schooling options since the pandemic. Okay. She blames the exodus on the district's lack of respect for parental rights. Fair enough. Colorado's kind of a weird place. Like, if this is the 2nd largest school district, it's got to be a suburb of Denver in some form or fashion. And for people who are in the know about Colorado, know that it's kind of like a red state, except for Denver and Aspen, okay? And those 2 places are kind of degenerate as a motherfucker. It's not emblematic of the rest of the state. So Colorado was one of those first states that was hit incredibly hard by the exodus of Californians, the first wave of Californication. It was a Republican stronghold for a very long time, and then all of a sudden, I think around Obama, it just flipped like that and kind of coincided with the legalization of pot. Imagine my shock. Many parents have started homeschooling their children and kicking their pets outside during the learning hours, have placed them in private or charter schools based. She added that parents learned that schools surveyed students asking them to declare their preferred pronouns. Oh, it sounds like asshole cancer. The administration advised teachers to change the name of the Gender and Sexual Alliance Club so that parents wouldn't know their children were involved in an LGBT organization. Sorry, what? You're burying the lead just about at the end of the fucking article, okay? Purposefully trying to obfuscate the truth and lie to parents through omission. That's kind of fucked too, okay? But then again, just denying reality by saying we don't have any furries, and you can just hear off in the distance, that's pretty bad too. I've heard from substitute teachers who will go in and say that on their roster it says in front of the parent, use this name. And then to the child, use this name, so that they're basically deceiving parents left and right. What the fuck? It's disturbing, Datko said. Because preserving the family is critical to society. When schools don't respect parents, it puts the entire society at risk. Yeah, but that's their entire goal, okay? This entire communist agenda, because let's just call it exactly what it is. They believe the state, because that's what teachers are, even substitute teachers, all of them. They are agents of the state. They believe that they can raise your children better because their ideology, their ideas will create and somehow lead to their fucking utopia that's out there that will never be achieved because these ideas are untenable and fucking retarded. Just because these people aren't fucking and procreating themselves, okay, doesn't mean that they can't take your kids away from them. That's why you have to be on top of what your kids are doing. That was the one good thing that came out of the pandemic, okay? All of that at-home learning, it just lets the parents who were also, forced to work from home, take a look over and see what Susie or Jimmy are doing at class, and it's like, why is there so many rainbows associated with your math homework? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then they started to dig in. They started to figure out that, holy fuck, they aren't learning what I learned back at school. That was the one good thing that was out there, the investment of parents into their education. Something that they should have been doing, yes, for a very, very long time. But thanks to, I would say, Gen X, the first real latchkey generation, where there wasn't a parent at home, that there wasn't a strong nuclear family, the first real wave of the welfare state, single parenthood, single motherhood, let's just call it exactly what it is. And then that led to kids being brought up without structure. And now we have the society that we do, where we got goddamn furries running through the schools of your kids if you happen to live in Colorado. I also know another thing about Colorado. It's an open carry state, so mind your ears and tails. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.